Guys, and welcome back to Grace and Obstacles and another Formal Friday video. Today's video is my 1 year postpartum update, and so it's going to be all about me and how I'm doing 1 year postpartum. So first of all, the physical side of things. So whenever I was pregnant, I actually lost 40 pounds when I was pregnant, and since then, when I had Amelia, I lost another 10 pounds, mostly Amelia, because she was 8'3", and so I in total lost about 50 pounds throughout my pregnancy. And then within a few months afterwards, and actually up until now, I've gained maybe 10 to 15 pounds of that back. I don't know what people say when you're breastfeeding. They say that the weight just comes off of you, and I don't know if it's because I didn't gain any weight being pregnant, or if it's because when you're breastfeeding, you're hungry all the time. So I don't know how people lose weight when they're breastfeeding. But anyways, I'm still about 40 pounds lower than what I was whenever I first got pregnant with Amelia. So I'm a-okay with that. And now whenever I got pregnant, about the 6-month mark of being pregnant, I developed what's called SPD, or symphysis pubic disorder or dysfunction, I can't remember, but it's where your pubic bone actually starts to separate, and the ligaments become a little bit too loose. They're supposed to loosen to prepare for childbirth, but mine loosened a little bit too much, and I couldn't walk like 5 steps. It was very, very painful, and as soon as I gave birth, that ended. So that's great. Also, another physical attribute postpartum, about 2 weeks after I gave birth, I got really, really sore knees. And I don't know if it's because I was on my knees for 24 hours giving birth and all of a sudden something happened 2 weeks later, or if it's just because something to do with, again, the ligaments, because they had loosened during pregnancy and things were just kind of shifting around. They weren't in the right spot anymore. I couldn't get up from a rocking chair. It was hard to walk. I definitely couldn't bend down or kneel. And again, that has subsided. Also, post-pregnancy or postpartum, about 4 months in, I started to lose hair like crazy. I was taking out clumps of hair from brushing it. I didn't want to shower because whenever I showered, tons would come out. And so this lasted, it probably ended around the 7-month mark. But then recently, around 9.5, 10 months postpartum, I started losing hair again. I'd be in the shower and then I'd start to get hair coming out in my fingers, and I would, plaster it on the glass or plaster it on the shower, which I know a lot of you do. And then you take it down with your hands if you remember. If not, sorry husbands. But I started losing it like crazy again. That has since subsided quite a bit, but now all of my hair is starting to grow back, but it's growing back in these tiny little baby hairs, and whenever I wear my hair up, it's like a crown of baby hair. So I tend to wear my hair down a lot because you don't notice it as much. And now breastfeeding, I wanted to do at least a year of breastfeeding, and we have done that, but around the 9.5 postpartum mark, and whenever Amelia started sleeping through the night, she actually started to self-wean herself. She took herself right off the night feedings, which was fine by me. But then she used to nurse to sleep, and then she didn't want to do that anymore. And then she didn't want to nurse for her naps. And so now she nurses once in the morning, and that's it. And I think actually if I took that away from her, she would be okay with that. I think we do that more so for me, because I still need that bond and that closeness with her in the morning. And so I will continue to do that for as long as I can. I try and offer it to her throughout the afternoon, but she'll bite me or she'll just arch her back and pull away. But we are still breastfeeding just once in the morning, which I'm happy that we're even still doing that. So sleeping, I am sleeping through the night most nights. Some nights Amelia will get up in the middle of the night, so I'll get up and I'll rock her. She's back down in 5 minutes, but for the most part, we're all getting at least 8 hours of sleep, which is great, excellent. And so, I couldn't ask for more than that. I know a lot of moms a year postpartum are still getting up a couple times throughout the night. We aren't, thank goodness. And so that's been great. Some people have been asking if my cycles have started back up again, and no, they haven't, which is I have fully expected. I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and so typically I would get a cycle 1 to 2 times a year, and this is what made it very difficult for us to get pregnant, because you can't get pregnant unless you get your period, because you only get your period if you ovulate. So I didn't ovulate on my own. And so I have been to my OB, and because I wanted to get my cycles back and being regular. And so he put me on Prometrium, which is, I think it's an estrogen pill. You go on it once for 10 days and then you get your period. And so I did that, and so I have had one cycle, which is great. I know a lot of people wish that they just never got their period. As a teenager, I was totally okay with not having a period, ever. However, when you're trying to get pregnant, you want that period. And so I have had one cycle of postpartum. It didn't come back naturally, which I wasn't expecting it to. And so which kind of leads us into the big question of, when is the next baby coming? And the real answer is, I don't know. I have no idea. I really want to get my cycles regulated with the Prometrium before we start trying. And so we're not preventing, but we're not full on trying right now either. We do want Amelia and her sibling to be relatively close in age. We do want to start, trying at some point shortly. But I do want to get my cycles regulated. I have talked to my OB, like I said, and he's going to start me on the Clomid relatively soon as things start to regulate. We know that because it took so long with Amelia, it took 9 cycles of Clomid to actually get pregnant. So he wants to put me on that relatively soon to kind of get things moving. So it may be a few months, it could be a few years again. Fingers crossed it does not take a few years, because that was the most mentally, physically, emotionally exhausting thing that we have ever been through, and I do not wish it upon anybody. But so that's what's going on. So I don't know if it's going to be a few months, a few years, but hopefully it will happen. Hopefully we will be blessed with another child. Like I have mentioned before, Amelia is our miracle baby. Total miracle that she's even here with us today. And so that's the answer. So we don't know when the next baby's coming. We are, of course, looking into it, and hopefully soon, because with her not nursing as much, with her sleeping through the night, I have been in baby fever. A lot of people that I know are starting to get pregnant with their second, and seeing the little babies, I want a little baby again. And Amelia is so good with her friends. She loves playing with other people, her little friends at the library and swimming. I know that she would be amazing as an older sister. So we definitely want that. And so hopefully I'll have some good news for you guys in the next few months, but I will let you know. I'll keep you updated. You have to keep watching. And so that's it. So that's my 1 year postpartum update. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, press that subscribe button for all of our future Formal Fridays, as well as our daily vlogs, Monday to Sunday, with myself, my daughter Amelia, and sometimes my husband Luke. He does work a lot of long hours and a lot of out of town hours, so he's not in the vlogs a lot. But press that subscribe button if you want to keep following us. Leave a nice and friendly comment below, and we will see you guys next Friday. Bye guys.